Hey guys, it's Tony Butler. Hey, been a really long day and just wanted to check in and share an experience that I had today where I was driving my son back from a swim meet in a blizzard. So it's in Montana and we had to drive over a pass, and I had several chances where I could have turned around and gone back. But for whatever reason, I just wanted to get home and I didn't. And this comes back down to this idea of, what is acceptable risk, whether it's in life, in your business, in things that, decisions that you're making, what risk is really worth it? And one of the things I realize is, as I'm driving 15 miles an hour, the wind is howling, it's a whiteout, I can barely see, lunatics are on the side, people are off the road. It was just terrible. And I just kept going and going. And there's a couple points where I came to this, I came to a point on the road where I could have turned around, but I still drove on. I still pushed on anyway. And an hour and a half later, I got down the mountain. I made it to the other side. I got home safe, had a nice dinner. And I started thinking back and I was like, it was a really bad decision. It just was. Like, there's some risk that you take, and you take the risk, and maybe in some cases it will work out for you. But the reward versus the possibility of what really could have gone wrong, you break down, you go off the road in a blizzard, and it was literally, it was like 4 below zero outside, and we're 40 minutes to an hour away on a normal day from the nearest town. You're literally in the wilderness. Well, if you break down out there, and I do have survival gear in my car, your life is in danger. Is it really worth it? Is it worth it to get home and have a nice dinner and a glass of wine? And I think that same decision-making process, you got to use that in your business. You got to decide, like, hey, is the reward worth this risk? It's like I used to have a friend, and when his son had a motorcycle, and he was really good at riding wheelies. And one day I'm going to work, and his son passed me, and he's on the highway, and he's doing a wheelie on his motorcycle, doing 80 or so. No helmet. I mean, just nuts. Well, he made it, and he lived, and everything went well. He didn't crash. But what if he had? What was the downside risk? Was it really worth that? Was it worth the thrill of it? Okay. And it's the same thing with the guy who just recently free soloed El Capitan. And, it's a world record. He climbed the mountain with no ropes, no nothing, in just under a few hours. It's just amazing, amazing climb. But at any moment, if he'd made the slightest slip, he would have died. And yes, it was an enormous human achievement. It's this amazing, amazing accomplishment. But is it worth it? And I think before you make big decisions, you have to really weigh the consequences, of the upside versus the downside. And if death and dismemberment and dying in the wilderness, if that's involved, then the answer should probably be no. If I'd been a little wiser, if I just thought it through a little better, I would have stayed the night, on the other end, waited for all the roads to get plowed, and then gone in the morning when it was light out and easy drive. You don't always have to stay on the track that you picked just because you picked it. Okay, you can change your mind. You can go back. You can start again. You can go safer. Okay. So anyway, it's really late. I'm gonna leave you with that, and that's risk versus reward. Are you really evaluating it? Okay, this is Tony Butler. I hope to see you again. Please subscribe to the channel, follow, and I will catch you next time. Out.